I don't know.
You must know. We have the same level of capital, same rent, same premises. We even meet the same expenses. Why am I being taxed more?
I don't know. But for me, I sent my income and expenses via the URA website.
So they are punishing me because I did not send that through the website. Mugisha, you know these things. You know the type of expenses we go through here.
I know. But how will URA believe you if you don't write them down or keep records for your receipt as proof for your income and expenses for your butchery?
Mugisha, you mean you write all these things down?
Yes, I do. I write every detail. You see, the good, the amount, and the person involved.
But where do you get the time to write all this?
Immediately the transaction is done, or at the end of the day. But at minimum, I must know the income and expenses for each day. Otherwise, it is very easy to forget or confuse.
So, this is how your tax is being reduced?
Actually, it automatically shows me the tax I have to pay without reducing my business capital. It also helps me not mix my business money with the money I get from the garden. Aha. Do you know that this book is showing me that you haven't paid me the carton of soda I advanced you last month?
Mugasha, you also remember that?
Yes. This book helps me to remember every detail about this shop.
Mugasha, guy, you know things and you don't even tell me.
You didn't ask. Try it. You'll thank me later.
Let me first deal with the customer.
But wait, don't forget to pay the URA tax in time.
I won't. I will not.
Okay.
Uganda Revenue Authority thanks you for paying taxes. Thank you. Taxi
Wait, Tabu, tunamaliriza. And what are you doing throwing papers all over the place?
I'm looking for an invoice for a sound system and cables that I received yesterday, but I can't find it.
You know there is a way of keeping all this in one place and available to you as and when you need it.
I really wish there was one, because the way these invoices grow legs and disappear.
I believe this is what you're looking for.
Now how did it get there?
Tabo! Do you know that with EFRIS, you can stay on track of all your business transactions and improve on your record keeping?
How so?
Kati tuli ku computer with EFRIS. I just search using the fiscal document number and I retrieve the records I'm looking for. Bookkeeping becomes simple after that.
Kapo, awesome, yeah.
I began using URA's Kakasa solutions and now I'm in charge of my business. And you can as well.
Kakasa, be sure you are in charge of your business.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
That's my little angel Rose. Together with millions of other children, my daughter Rose is assured of learning something new every day. Moses, my husband, just like many other commercial farmers, has his business supported so he can provide for us. When my other little one was on the way, even with my pregnancy complications, it was a quick, smooth ride to Mulago Specialized Women and Neonatal Hospital. Also, my new baby was able to make it through his first days with the help of specialized equipment thanks to the reliable electricity which has also been extended throughout the country. All this and more has been made possible because of you.
Join us and together let's do more for our country. Get your free tin at www.ura.go.ug.
Thank you for paying your taxes.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
I'm called Natmanya Scovia. I came to get a tin. I was passing by and I saw a bus, so I was forced to come here and get one. It was not hectic because it didn't take much time, like 5 minutes or less. Very happy. I'm still training with National Water, and without a tin, you cannot be employed. I encourage everyone out there who is not having a tin to come and register, because I know the world that is coming without a tin, you will not be able to do anything.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
Acquiring a tin is now easier than ever before with a new interface that is brief, simple, and cuts out all the excess fields from previous applications. All you need is your national ID or driver's license or passports and internet access, and you're good to go. No more waiting in long queues, as you can now acquire a tin instantly from wherever you are. Remember, it's free. Experience our new and improved modern interface that is user-friendly.
Thank you for paying your taxes.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
Kapo, you seem to be in a hurry. Where are you going to?
I'm gonna pay URA visit.
Why would anyone visit URA? Of all places?
To know more about the Kakasa business solutions, namely digital tracking solution, the voluntary disclosure program, and electronic fiscal receipting and invoicing solution, which have turned my business around. You know I need to be on top of my game to protect my empire. If you know, you know.
I too need to know what Kapo knows.
Kakasa, be sure you are in charge of your business. Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
In chess, the small one can become the big one. It's the same here. And here too. Watch every move. Record every number so you can plan better. No matter the size of your dream, tomorrow's success belongs to those who keep today's records clean. File your returns today.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
Mugasha, did you see the game last night?
I slept looking for a receipt. Up to now, I'm still looking for it.
What kind of receipt?
There is a certain receipt. I need to file my returns. I'm trying to find it.
By the way, do you know these guys of URA asked for 3 million from me?
Me, I paid 500,000 only.
You mean you pay only 500,000?
Yes.
They asked for 3 million. Why am I being asked to pay more?
I don't know.
You must know. We have the same level of capital, same rent, same premises. We even meet the same expenses. Why am I being taxed more?
I don't know, but for me, I sent my income and expenses via the URA website.
So they are punishing me because I did not send that through the website. Mugisha, you know these things. You know the type of expenses we go through here.
I know, but how will URA believe you if you don't write them down or keep records for your receipt as proof for your income and expenses for your butchery?
Mugisha, you mean you write all these things down?
Yes, I do. I write every detail. You see, the good, the amount, and the person involved.
But where do you get the time to write all this?
Immediately the transaction is done, or at the end of the day. But at minimum, I must know the income and expenses for each day. Otherwise, it is very easy to forget or confuse.
So, this is how your tax is being reduced?
Actually, it automatically shows me the tax I have to pay without reducing my business capital. It also helps me not mix my business money with the money I get from the garden. Aha. Do you know that this book is showing me that you haven't paid me the carton of soda I advanced you last month?
Mugasha, you also remember that?
Yes. This book helps me to remember every detail about this shop.
Mugasha, guy, you know things and you don't even tell me.
You didn't ask. Try it. You'll thank me later.
Let me first deal with the customer.
But wait, don't forget to pay the URA tax in time.
I won't. I will not.
Okay.
Uganda Revenue Authority thanks you for paying taxes. Oh, thank you, thank you, taxes.
Welcome. You are watching the Live Tax Lounge, a program designed to bring you URA's initiatives, to bring clarity to those particular initiatives and ease and compliance for you, our dear taxpayers. The digital tracking solution was introduced on the 1st of November 2019 and was introduced to bring to ease and compliance among the importers and manufacturers. And this means that all manufacturers and importers of excisable products are required to implement the DTS system by affixing the digital tax stamps on their products. Today we are going to talk about the enforcement of the new products that have been gazetted. And to drive this conversation deeper, I am joined by URA's experts on the topic. Robert Amanya, who is the manager of the digital tracking solution. Samali Namitala, who is a supervisor of DTS, and Anthony Kayondo, who is a data analyst in the DTS system or program. And today we're excited to just bring you this program to make it easy for our dear importers and manufacturers to comply with the system, to make it easy for you in complying. And I'll come to you, our dear panelists, for today. What is DTS?
Yes, thank you, Norina. DTS is a digital tracking solution that is aimed at tracking and tracing the products produced, those that are gazetted. We started in November 2019 with particular products like soda, beer, water, and others. And then we've moved on to bring on board other new products that we are currently talking about, which include the juice, kombucha, fermented beverages, and all those that we are going to highlight in this topic. DTS is a broader picture that is aimed at tracking the collection of excise duty and also ensuring that our taxpayers and our dear citizens consume products that are legitimate and authorized to be on the market. Briefly, that's what I can talk about DTS.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll come to you, Samali. Why? Why was there a need for DTS?
Thank you. The DTS was introduced to help monitor, especially excisable goods, to monitor the production and the distribution of the goods in the market. We had a lot of illicit production, we've had a lot of illicit trade of these products in the market, and the stamps were introduced as a way of monitoring these products so that we can receive the due revenue from them.
I'll come to you, Anthony. When did DTS start? Were you part of it from its inception?
Yeah, we started DTS in 2019. And then they will produce kombucha. Kombucha was not part of the law at the time. So we had to quickly run to our legal team, and then they drafted to add these other 5. So the others were non-alcoholic. So if you don't fall in wines, beers, or spirits, we move on to the other non-alcoholic. That's why the other 5 were introduced. Other non-alcoholic, other non-alcoholic, then other alcoholic, then other fermented beverages. Then we also had cooking oil, and then the other fermented. So if you don't fall into the other 6 categories that we had, you'll be able to fall into the next 5 that we introduced. So DTS is growing. As and when we find a different risk, we speak to our legal team, and then we add other products. Thank you.
Okay. I'll come to you, Samali. Since today we are talking about the enforcement, and for most of our taxpayers, enforcement sounds like force, that like there's a problem with the compliance. I'd like you to tell us what it's been like from the time this solution was implemented. I mean, what is it like for the taxpayers and for the taxman? What has the experience been like? Has the taxman experienced an increase in revenue? What is the compliance phase looking like for the taxpayers?
Thank you. Like I mentioned earlier, the stamps, the digital stamps were introduced to help us monitor better and improve our compliance in excise duty especially. Now, you talked about enforcement. When we started out 2019, we had very few taxpayers on board. We had around 100 taxpayers in total on the tax register. Today, as we speak, we have over 500 in total. This is because of the efforts of the compliance teams. These are the field officers, the inspectors, the data analysts like Anthony here, and generally those of us who have been monitoring the upcoming. Yes, we've had challenges along the way. We've had the outright one was that most people in the gazetted product were not aware that they were supposed to be excisable. We had people making juice, for example, making water, and they didn't know they were supposed to be excisable. So with the stamp, when your product was out there in the field, in the market, in the supermarket, and our inspectors went around and didn't find a stamp on the product, that compelled them to come on board. That's why we've had the increment from 100 to 500. So at first, it was ignorance. That's the thing that we found out in the market. Then secondly, of course, there are those that did not want to comply, just uncompliant. So those were also compelled to come on. Of course, we have penalties. One of the things that has helped us bring people, we have penalties for being found in possession, defacing the stamp, or distorting or machinery that we've placed on the lines. Something we didn't mention, our stamps are applied in 2 ways. There is manual stamping and then the automated. If you have a fully automated line, we provide at our cost a machine that will apply the stamp, and also activate it. Others that don't have automated lines, we give you paper stamps that you apply on the tops of the bottles or containers as is applicable. So when you try to deface the machine that we have put on your line, we shall penalize you. If we find you in possession of goods without the stamp, we shall penalize you, because all these laws are in place. We have laws in place under the Tax Procedures Code. That is section 19, A and B, where they are spelled out. So with the inspectors moving around and finding people non-compliant, we were forced to raise the stick. The other challenge we've had is that we've had, like Anthony mentioned, we had some products that we left out when we started. We started with spirits and wines, and yet we had other alcoholic beverages like the kombucha he's mentioned, and they were competing with the already registered the spirits and wines. In the soft drinks, we had only soda and water, and yet we had juices, we had other soft drinks. So we were compelled to bring on board all the other products that we had left out before. And that was the challenge we found in the field. When people realized that there is an alternative, they switched from the products that had been gazetted to those that were not gazetted, and we were not realizing what we had set out to do. So those are some of the challenges we've found. But on the side of the taxpayer, of course, because they have to buy the stamp, and some of them had to make adjustments on their line or introduce people to do the stamping, they had an additional cost. It's a first-time cost which they had to incur, but over time they've been managing the cost.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Samali. You mentioned penalties, you mentioned, I need to ask you, Robert, what has URA done to engage the taxpayers, stakeholder engagements, to explain to them what this is, so that it's easy for them, so that they're not out looking for the information, but they know that URA is taking a step to find them and explain this to them. How many engagements have you had, perhaps? What different stakeholders have you engaged so far?
Thank you. When we're introducing these new products, we make sure we scope the stakeholders involved. You need to know the sector you are entering, then we have those engagements at the different levels. Like in the initial stages, you have to bring on board the Manufacturers Association, then there are the different sectors that you'll be working with, so that you are in tandem with whatever you are doing. You cannot have this success if you don't have the buy-in from the real manufacturers and also the other stakeholders. That's why we are having like this lounge to try to explain to the taxpayers and also the citizens out there what is about DTS, what is about the stamp, why should I consume a product that has a stamp? What does it benefit me? How does it benefit my country? So we have had so many engagements that we try to put across all the information that is required. Like right now we have introduced the new products. So we try to engage the Kombucha Association, the juice manufacturers. We engage them, visit their sites, the manufacturing places, so that we try to understand their manufacturing systems, how they reach on those products, because you need to know before you bring the stamp, where are you going to put it, how is the product designed. Now, through all that, that's when we come up with a solution that is tailored to each particular product. Now, you cannot do that minus the engagements. We had the engagements informing them about how we are going to do this. They had their challenges, which we also have to address and look into. And for them we also give them time to come through, first understand and appreciate, like we were supposed to have begun by 1st February, but then we extended for 2 months so that they try to appreciate the solution we are bringing, how it will help them, and also as URA and government, what we are trying to do. So the engagements are key And the partnerships we have with the manufacturers are key in all this, and we appreciate their support and the quick enrollment they've had, especially on DTS and in these new products. Like Samuel had talked about, had a challenge, and we're still having a challenge with the informal sector, but we've been happy that they're now coming on board because we've now encompassed all these manufacturers of these products, especially the drinks. Yeah, all those that were not encompassed in the previous laws, they are now there, any other. So whether you are doing kombucha, whether you're doing juice, whether you're doing soft drinks that why you call it herbal or tonic or something, it is still encompassed in all that. So the engagements we've had have helped us, and now we are scoping all those so that they come onto the tax register, and then we see how we can all contribute to the growth of our country.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anthony, how many seizures, because Robert is saying we're engaging them, and yet there are still seizures, due to non-compliance. How many seizures do you get on a weekly from those that are not complying, and why? Why do you think there are truckloads of alcohol, of still being found on the road without their fixed stamps?
Thank you. The seizures, let's say they on a daily, you definitely, as you see out there, you keep seeing trucks bringing in their illicit alcohol or unstamped products. So basically, most of them, some we find that these clients are new. There's not much information they have picked up, so they go, for example, most of, let's say 90% of the products that we end up bringing here are spirits. So spirits are mainly manufactured in a small room. You can always just add water to ethanol and then you pack in the. So most of those people are small, very small scale. So once they get the idea, they start doing the business. So before they can go ahead and ask, find out from URA, UNBS, they skip all those steps. So they go ahead and pack these products and take to the market. Most of these, some of them know and do it intentionally because the labeling has not been customized to ensure that you don't just simply put your products on the market. So the seizures are mostly due to the spirits and clients that are really adamant. They just do not want to apply the stamps, and they feel that when they see, let's say, for example, Ambience or UBL, their product is, let's say, the smallest of them. The 200 ml is, let's say, per bottle is 3,000. They feel if they open their small area and they come up with their product, they can sell it at 1,000. So basically, it's more or less trying to get money out of the economy, but they are skipping the steps. So that's why we have so many seizures that are ongoing. Then also, as we enroll now, like the new products that we started, there's that window period of exhausting the products from the market. So some of those use it as it's intentional. They go ahead and pump products in the market. So you find yourself having too much product in the market that is unstamped, taking advantage of that window that is currently running. So you end up having all those products on the market. So you have to keep seizing them and bring them to. And also we don't seize them to exactly seize, but in that period, when we bring them here, we onboard them, get them the stamps, then ask them to stamp, then take their products to the market. That's what we normally do initially, in the initial phase. So most of the seizures end up going back to the market.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So what penalties have been given to them?
The penalties, as Samali mentioned, 19A and B guide us. So where you find you with unstamped, we penalize you 50 million. Any product that is found without a stamp on the market, or if you deface it because also forged. We have some cases that have gone to our legal team. So once we take it on into the legal framework, we penalize them 50 million. Then initially we would ensure that we take them when we onboard them before we penalize them, because 50 million is a lot of money for some of these small clients. So we first do our best to onboard them. So before we penalize. So once we feel your repetitive client who is adamant and keeps taking products to the market, because you're selling at a cheaper, yet the other clients who are actually doing the right thing, their market is being taken away. So once we get to that point, we penalize you the 50 million shillings for the products that we find on the market. Either they are unstamped or they are fake products.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Robert, some of the taxpayers would feel URA does not have enough capacity to monitor all of them or to enforce. Last year, during the tax compliance day and that season when they were visiting the supermarkets, you know, so many products were found without stamps, you know, unstamped, and then they would, you know, leak and tell their friends, oh, URA is coming, URA is coming. But don't worry, there are only 10 people, or there are only, you know. So some take advantage of that gap and feel that URA is limited in capacity to be able to enforce this. URA is a backing door that cannot bite. So what can you do to assure the taxpayers that URA has capacity enough to support them through as they onboard onto this system, and to also enforce, you know, for those that are maybe smuggling and tax goods and unstamped goods into the country, or those that are, you know, concealing. What can you say to assure the taxpayers?
Thank you. I think we need to accept that as enforcement, we are few in numbers and we cannot be everywhere. We cannot say that for every company we put an enforcement officer. We cannot manage that. But however, what we are doing is to use the systems. Like we have this DTS, the digital tracking solution. We have the stamps. We want the taxpayer to be able also to help us in enforcing. What the taxpayer can do is to only consume a product that has the stamp, if it is gazetted to be stamped. In that way, the manufacturer will not have a motive to produce unstamped products. So in that way, even a taxpayer can enforce. Then there is also an option of whistleblowing. You say, I'm seeing this person that has not stamped, do something. Yeah? But in that, we are trying to be proactive. The numbers are few, but then we have the different stakeholders. Like this is domestic taxes, but then we are working with our counterparts in customs who also help us intercept these goods because we have different checkpoints. That is now key. Two, I talked about the systems we have. We have the Kakasa app. For those who have smartphones, you can download, and then you can check these products actually to see if it is genuine or not. If it is not genuine, then it will prompt you to send us notification, to send us information that this product is here and here, it is this product, it is not stamped. So they will pick that, and then our enforcement team will now follow that lead. So in that, we are using the systems to help us to enforce, because we cannot really be everywhere. Secondly, we have these items. Okay, I have this.
Okay.
And this. Okay. So first, as enforcement, we have these gadgets that we use. So it is really sampling, because we have so many manufacturers and so many products. So these gadgets, we use them to scan and check if these products conform to the DTS. It will tell us that this is genuine, it was manufactured on this date, or it was manufactured on this date, then we can be able to take action. If this system shows that your product is not activated, actually activation is also a challenge, where people just stamp, put the sticker, but they don't activate, then it becomes decoration. So this is also part of the DTS that we are using to enforce. We sample, and if we find there is an issue, then we impound those products, and then we can now go to the penalties. Now, being that we are also few, the penalties are punitive. It is actually, like they are saying, the TPC 19B, it is about 50 million or double the tax.
Okay.
So 50 million becomes the minimum. So it is trying to stop people from trying to manipulate these systems and produce unstamped products.
Okay.
That is there. So we have those tools we are using so that at least we can manage the enforcement. So this is us for the enforcement officers and the different URA stakeholders. We have the Kakasa app that can be downloaded from Google Play for every person. And then for those that cannot go onto the smartphones and what, we have this stamp validator. These ones we give to the stockists or manufacturers or taxpayers who want to verify these products so that they can also check the compliance of these products they are buying. This one, you just hover it over the product, then there is a guide at the back. If the color changes or the enforcement officers can guide you deeply on how to use it, then you can also check on these things.
What is that called?
It's stamp validator.
Okay.
Yes,
It's a
please.
stamp validator.
The stamp validator. So we are trying to use technology to help us enforce, but also our presence everywhere because we have different ways of enforcing. Otherwise, the numbers are small on ground, but we are also trying to increase our presence in the field. Okay. Thank you.
Wow, that is it. Thank you, Robert. Summary, just like for IFRIS, there are taxpayers who have come up to give testimonies of IFRIS, that it has helped them with their bookkeeping, it has made bookkeeping easy. What's the level of compliance? How many people can we speak of that don't find that the digital tracking solution is some spy network, trying to get them, but that they've actually benefited by affixing their products with, or making their products digitally traceable? Yes.
Okay, thank you.
How many and what are the benefits really to the taxpayer?
I cannot give you a figure that so many have benefited because we don't get all the feedback, but we have seen a few that have mentioned it. I will not disclose names for purposes of integrity, but there are some who have improved their compliance outrightly and have mentioned it. People were faking products in the market, have been faking products of those genuine producers in the market. Find someone's bottle, for example, if I had the Renzori here, someone takes the bottle and puts in water and uses Renzori's name or just removes an R and then sells the bottle. We've had less of those now because the genuine producers are taking back their market. Yes. Quite a number of those that we've seen. Then those that were not able to come out before and are now in the market because for them they followed the procedures. They are certified by UNBS. They've come on board. They are stamping. Now, we've had a number of those ones. That's why I told you our numbers have increased. So generally, yes, people have used the records that they've attained by stamping because there's a record now that you can trace and follow, that I produced so many in this month, and then through IFRIS I sold as well. So the record keeping has improved for so many of them, and there are those that have testified. Again, not everyone has come out, but yes, we've had some testimonies of the same. And then, of course, for the illicit production, we've been able to stop those that are competing with the genuine ones. Yeah? Those that are using other people's names in the market, like I've already mentioned. So those are coming up. We're prosecuting some people, like Anthony has already mentioned. So yes, there's been an improvement in record keeping, in volumes for manufacturers, in revenue for the manufacturers, and also in quality of the products. Because now people are going to UNBS. Before they were not. Now we get certified products on the market. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Samali. Dear taxpayers, we've come to the end of the Live Tax Lounge, and we shall come to the parting shots, so the last words from our dear experts on DTS as they make a final call to you. Samali, I know that there have been a number of revenue authorities coming to benchmark the DTS system. that means there is something good in there. You know, it's not all, there's something good in it. So I want you to look into the camera and speak to the taxpayers and make a patriotic call to the different taxpayers that are listening to you right now. Yes, maybe we can start from Anthony at the very end.
Thank you. We implore you as URA to be our first line of defense and see what you could consume. You should ensure you consume a product with a stamp. Before you break the seal, ensure that the product has a stamp, because as you've heard from our manager, you are the first line of defense. So for us to be able to kick out illicit products, we need to ensure that we consume all products with stamps. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. Yes, Samali.
Thank you. We would like to employ our fellow citizens out there that the stamp did not come to harm you. Actually, it came to make your business and your production better. So please embrace it. Get the stamp on your product. Let the people enjoy your product because it is authentic. We've had clients come and tell us, my product is being taken by Sudanese, by Congolese, because it has a stamp. Yeah? So it shows that there is authenticity by use of the stamp. Their products are being embraced by several people. Like you've mentioned, we've got other revenue authorities coming over to see what we are doing. That means, yes, we're doing something right. Our taxpayers have come on board, our stamps are working, and our revenue has improved a lot. We have increased production volumes, we have increased revenue for the government. So please, let's work together, let's develop Uganda together, let's embrace the stamps, and let's have genuine products out there.
Thank you, Samali. Robert, before you give your parting shot,
yes,
one of our taxpayers says, I'm a liquid soap manufacturer. Does DTS apply to us? Secondly, what are the penalties of not affixing the stamp to my product? Which we kind of answered. But this person says, I'm a liquid soap manufacturer. Does DTS apply to us?
Okay. Thank you, our dear taxpayer, for the question. Maybe to clarify, liquid soap is not yet gazetted by the minister to be stamped, so it does not qualify for DTS. So the taxpayer does not need to acquire or register for digital tax stamps. Yes, about the penalties, we had talked about it earlier. We are saying if the product is already gazetted for stamping and you fail to do that, then there is a penalty of 50 million or double the tax, whichever is higher, given the production or the stock we find at your premises. So, and it cascades, it goes down, where if you are defacing, if you are trying to manipulate the stamps, there are different penalties that you get. So if it is defacing, that is the 10 million. So they are different depending on the offense someone has committed. Yes, but for the manufacturer who has failed to stamp, it is that, and we encourage all of them to desist from that habit of producing minus stamping. We are available to give any assistance that they may require from us. Yes, please.
All right, thank you so much. You can go ahead and give your parting shots to the taxpayers.
Our dear taxpayers, we would like to thank you for your time, and we thank you once again for paying taxes so that we develop our country together. Today we are talking about enforcement of the new products, and we want to implore all those who have not yet come to register for DTS and they are producing gazetted products. We are imploring you to all come and register so that you don't face the penalties and the prosecutions that come with non-compliance. On the other note, we would like to thank the taxpayers who have come through to register. We have been happy so far with the numbers we are seeing. the juice producers, soft drinks, kombuchas. There have been so many that we are seeing on board that we had never even heard of prior to that. So we encourage them to come and register. The DTS unit that is now fully focusing on the DTS, we sit at NIP buildings, that is Nakawa head office. That is if you are in Kampala, but if you are not there, you can go to the nearest station. They will be able to give any assistance, and in case there is any further clarification needed, they can always contact us where they are located. Thank you.
Thank you so much. There you have it, our dear listeners, our dear taxpayers. And for any help, just like Robert has said, the URA offices in Nakawa and all over the country are open for you to approach. URA is also online. URA is also on WhatsApp. URA has a contact center for any inquiries. You can just call the URA numbers or come to the station offices all over the country and at the tower. And of course, there will be experts like Robert Amanya, like Anthony Kayondo, like Samali Namitala, ready to help you out and make compliance easy for you. Thank you for listening to us and joining us today. Until next time, God bless you.
Thank you.
I'm called Natmanya Scovia. I came to get a tin.
We're out.
I was passing by and I saw a bus, so I was supposed to come here and get one. It was not hectic because it didn't take much time, like 5 minutes or less. Very happy. I'm still training with National Water, and without a tin, you cannot be employed. I encourage everyone out there who is not having a tin to come and register, because I know the world that is coming without a tin, you will not be able to do anything.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Acquiring a tin is now easier than ever before with a new interface that is brief, simple, and cuts out all the excess fields from previous applications. All you need is your national ID or driver's license or passports and internet access, and you're good to go. No more waiting in long queues, as you can now acquire a tin instantly from wherever you are. Remember, it's free. Experience our new and improved modern interface that is user-friendly.
Thank you for paying your taxes.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.